Central Minnesota Sports Hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
It is the Morning Sports Desk on a Monday, the 31st of March. I'm CJ Baumgartner. No Corey Tackman today. We got our guy Zeke joining us on the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Zeke, you have the rare Mets jersey with the Gopher hockey hat combo. Just to explain it to the folks at home.
I'm that dude today. Well, first off, the hat is an homage to the way that Gopher hockey bowed out of the playoffs last week, something that may or may not be appearing in the second edition of this beauty right here, Land of 10,000 Acres, because why not? Why would they not?
You can buy that wherever you buy
lose on a missed trip in overtime after leading 3-1 and all that. And the Mets jersey is, I'm excited to see what jersey we're giving away this time, because last Friday you guys gave away, or was it Thursday you gave away that autographed Wade Boggs jersey. This one isn't autographed, but it is a World Series Mets Bartolo Colon jersey.
I just want to Bartolo Colon. He's showing it. This is why you got to watch the show on YouTube, because you can see Zeke rocking the Bartolo Colon Mets jersey.
One of a kind at this point.
Yeah, exactly. One of a kind.
You'll never see another one of these walking around downtown Wadena. I'll tell you that for free.
You will not. I will put all of the money I have on that. So if you get it autographed, it's just like you need to sell that immediately, because you'll be a millionaire, and then you can retire.
I've been waiting forever for Bartolo Colon to sign autographs in this area, because it'd be ridiculous. I also, speaking of books, have you ever read his autobiography?
I have not.
Called Big Sexy Bartolo Colon.
Mm-hmm.
It is in like extra large print.
Is that to make the page number go up? Or what?
I think so. Like, look at how big those words are.
It's huge.
It is huge. I've never actually read it, because I don't know why I haven't read it. Probably because
I just kind of hung on to that graphic that Fox Sports North made when he first signed with the Twins, and it's like the 3 things you need to know, and it's like he rode his donkey.
Yeah, that is.
He hit rocks with sticks, and that's how he got good at baseball.
Yep, it is. Oh, it's on the back here. Yeah, I haven't read it because it's like a first grade reading level to read this book. But someday, on a rainy day, maybe when there's like a winter storm warning in April tomorrow or something,
maybe then that's the time.
I'll bust out Big Sexy Bartolo Colon in his own words, and there are some big words.
And just like size big, not
size big. Yes.
Big complicated
big
words.
Sexy words in that Big Sexy book.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
And speaking of winter storm, Zeke, we really don't have a lot going on the local sports scene as in active games. I know Wadena, Deer Creek, and Pillager are going to try and play baseball, softball in their own complexes today against each other. But outside of that, this is the nicest it's going to be all week, because it's sunny and 41. We may get temps over 40. We may get sunny, but not together. So it's going to be a bit of a rough week weather-wise. So that's something to keep in mind. We're not planning on any winter, or basically there's still winter. We're not planning on any spring sports broadcasts yet at this point, but there is a couple things that we do need to highlight locally that are going on. First of all, I know you've definitely seen this, Zeke, but Staples-Motley Football related, the AA State Coach of the Year in football is none other than Staples-Motley's own Drew Potter. That's part of the Minnesota Football Association. That was put out on the Staples-Motley Football, I believe, Facebook page yesterday, and we'll put it up here on the screen again. Why you should watch on YouTube as those guys all celebrating there to get that honor. Obviously, it kind of goes without saying for the fact that they didn't come out of nowhere this year, but they came into the state tournament, got a huge double overtime win, got a semifinal win, and then got into the prep bowl where they faced Jackson County Central, had some injuries, but whatever. A really, really fun run for the Staples-Motley Cardinal football team, and getting some hardware for Coach Potter and company.
Yeah, and just continuing the turnaround of what Staples-Motley football had become over the last 20 years and where they are now. And it's it's one of the top stories in high school sports of not just the football season, but of the year, I think, and just continuing to build on that success, and for Coach Potter to get, the two-way coach of the year over everybody, I think is huge for this program.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And of course, we've gotten a chance to talk with Coach Potter a lot over the course of the season, and yeah, couldn't have him do a better guy. It was really cool to get to see our local coaches honored. Obviously, with football in the state, there's a lot of, especially in Class 2A, there's a lot of different and well-deserving names that could have got that list, but Coach Potter's right up there with them. So congratulations to the Staples-Motley football program with that one. One other local sports note that we need to talk about here today also, Zeke, and this comes courtesy of the Wadena Deer Creek Public Schools Facebook page, and that is that they have had a list of their boys and girls basketball players make academic all-state. Kobe Snyder made it for boys basketball, and then for girls basketball, Montana Karsten, Addison Gravel, Leah Osberg, and Jenna Dykoff all getting academic all-state honors for their efforts on and off the court, which is a really, really cool accomplishment to get so many of them on that list.
Yeah, we are preached all the time. I mean, it's high school first, and if you're not excelling in the classroom, they're not going to let you on the court. And for Wadena, Deer Creek specifically, to take those huge steps to make sure that these kids are excelling both on the court, but most importantly in the classroom. I mean, to have 5 on this list is incredible.
Yeah, really cool accomplishment. So congratulations there to all those athletes. And as we wrap up our local sports talk for the day, there's one more thing we need to talk about. And I say locally, but it's kind of more just because we're doing it on our actual WadenaRadio.com website. But Zeke, we have to check out Bracket Mayhem 2025, brought to you by the Elmer Goshi Post 3922 of Wadena. And I think it's time we bust this bad boy out. All right. Well, again, the VFW and Wadena kindly sponsoring Basketball Mayhem 2025. Let's take a look at where things are at in the leaderboard right now. Mike Lake in first place with 113 points. He's sitting right now in first place. Kyle Gilsine, our guy, 108. He's doing really well. 106 for Cheryl Chenoweth. Paul Mattoon at 101, tied with Jake and Terrell there, and Ron Wanis with 99, Jenny Callahan 99, Jane Brockbyler 98, some dude named Christian whose brackets not very good 97, Rome Miller 97, and there's me all the way whose brackets somehow worse at 26.
Oh crap! You're beating me. I'm at 27th. I have 72 points.
All right. Okay, cool. Now I feel less bad about how
it could be worse. It could be worse.
I could be one spot worse. How many Final Four teams did you correctly pick, Zeke? I had 2.
I don't remember. Let me look. I know I have Duke winning the whole thing. I had Duke over St. John's, and that didn't. I have Duke and Auburn, I guess, in the Final Four. So look at that. I had Duke, Tennessee, Auburn, St. John's was my Final Four.
So looking at my bracket, I had Michigan State, Florida, Duke, and Illinois, which Illinois really kind of was bad from the beginning, them bowing out so early. Should have just guessed 4 1 seeds like they tell you all the time. Just guess straight chalk every time. This is the bracket to where if you picked everything straight chalk, you were going to have a very good time.
But where's the fun in that, though? We have a buddy who does that. We play for some fantasy football auction dollars every year, and the guy who wins it all the time, his name is Tim. I'm going to call him out. He picks straight chalk every single year. And so I tried to do that the best I could and still couldn't do it because I had two seeds in my Final Four. It's no fun to do it like that.
No.
But first time since like 2008 since all 4 1 seeds made it or something like that.
Sounds about right. And let's be honest, this was a year where they definitely all played like it. Auburn handled Michigan State. Florida had a little bit of a challenge in a couple of their games, but were able to, I mean, the way that they ended the game on like an 18-4 run against Texas Tech.
Yeah.
All right. That's a way to do it. And Houston just, they manhandled they manhandled, who was it they played? Tennessee, 15 first half points and just kind of suffocated them. So all around, and Duke handled things pretty well as well.
Duke is Duke, yeah.
Duke is Duke. There's a good chance we are going to get a Duke Florida natty, which is what I picked, and I have Florida winning the whole dang thing.
There you go.
We'll see how that turns out. You can check the full standings for the Basketball Mayhem 2025 Bracket Challenge online, WadenaRadio.com, Superstation, K106 mobile app, and once again, thanks to the VFW Elmer Goshi Post 3922 in Wadena for sponsoring this year's challenge. And let's just go out. All right. I really love that theme.
I do too.
So good. One of the best in all of sports.
Agreed.
I saw a post yesterday on X or Twitter or whatever, and it had and it said, really missing these two on my screen right now. And they posted it Sunday night, and it's a picture of John Miller and Joe Morgan, and it had the Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Baseball theme. It's like the ba da 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 da.
Yep.
And I was like, God dang it, I missed that. I missed both of them on Sunday Night Baseball so much. And also, I just missed Sunday Night Baseball and Baseball Tonight, which ESPN has not prioritized. And then Major League Baseball's like, fine, we're just not going to put our stuff on ESPN anymore, which will surely help baseball discourse on ESPN.
Why not? Good news is we'll have that Masters theme here in like two weeks also. So that's I'm ready.
Hello, friends.
Yeah.
All right. So we got some stuff to talk about with state sports, mainly the Tussle at the Target Center, and Zeke found a much better name for that we're going to talk about. The Twins never, ever getting a break, I guess. And all of that is going to be talked about here in just a couple minutes. But first, we want to shout out the good folks at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Like you talked about last week, Zeke, we gave away a jersey courtesy of the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena, autographed Wade Boggs jersey. So darn cool. I'm really glad for our winner, Zach, that he was able to come away with that one. But the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade gives out jerseys like that all the time at the FunZone Arcade. And in fact, they have new birthday party rooms to take full advantage of the FunZone Arcade. And to celebrate that, they're doing a birthday party giveaway. Because, of course, birthdays are meant to be celebrated, and a party at the FunZone Arcade is the ultimate celebration. Their birthday party giveaway will award one lucky winner a FunZone Arcade party package valued at $500. The package includes a FunZone Arcade birthday party at the FunZone Arcade location of your choice. We assume you'll do Wadena, plus $150 in FunZone cards. You just got to scan the QR code on their Facebook page, and if you're watching on YouTube, we have it right on the screen as well. And you have until today. Today is the last day to get your entry in. Put it in. Right? I mean, Zeke, imagine you get to take the kids to a birthday party and you get to have the good pizza, the chicken and mashed potatoes, the salad bar, the dessert pizza, everything that the Pizza Ranch is known for. You get to play in the FunZone Arcade. You play all the great games that they have, the VRs, the racing games, just the whole works. And then you try and pool all your tickets together to try and win a mystery jersey. What's not to love about the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade? Try and think of something, Zeke. Do you got anything?
No. And that's because I just scanned the QR code and I'm sending a text to my friends. I have a buddy whose birthday is on Saturday.
You're trying to birthday parties are not just for kids, by the way.
They are not. When there's Wade Boggs jerseys on the line, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Dan's birthday is Saturday. Everybody should register so we can give him the best 34th birthday party ever. Boom.
That's how we do it. Congratulations.
Easy as that.
Easy as that. Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena, proud, we hope, sponsors of the Morning Sports Desk. All right, Zeke, do we want to talk about the more entertaining thing, or do we want to talk about the Minnesota Twins?
So let's save the Twins, because we can tie the Wild into the Twins, I think, a little bit too. Let's talk about the shoving.
The tussle at the Target Center, as Bally Sports North called it last night. Zeke, what would you call it?
Little push, a little shoving. I don't know. People on the Detroit fans were, whenever something like this happens, I always try and look at it through an unbiased lens. And so I'll go to the opposing team's social media and I'll read what their fans are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And little delusional. There was a lot of bad boys are back, a lot of Dennis Rodman, a lot of Bill Laimbeer, a lot of Isaiah Thomas stuff. Mm-hmm. And this was not what Bill Laimbeer was doing to Michael Jordan in the late 80s and early 90s
either.
No, this was Malik Beasley yelling at Jalen Clark, missing a three, and then it just escalated from there. And then a clean strip on Naz Reid. I didn't see a foul on the play, and he gotten Ron's face, and then DiVincenzo came to his rescue, and then they pushed themselves into a kid, and the kid got a free Naz Reid jersey, and people got ejected. And yeah, it was just, I don't know. It was Detroit without their two best players just trying to cause issues, and they did. It cost the Wolves both Naz and Dante, probably not just for last night, but probably for a couple games coming up here with the Wolves on the stretch run trying to get into that top six. And Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle didn't take the bait. The Wolves won. Wolves were outscored
though, so he
points
won
in the first quarter, and they had a huge win last night.
Yeah. I mean, it was. So. We talked about this yesterday. I think Dane Moore put out a tweet that said the Pistons don't know that when the Wolves are sleepy, you let them sleep, and they were playing a sleepy game. See, they were not playing good basketball in the first quarter. They were not playing good basketball in the first few minutes of the second quarter. It was sloppy. It was playing down to competition. It was all of the things that we've ripped the Wolves for all year. It's not that they can't play against the good teams. In fact, they play better against those teams. It's the nights they're playing Detroit without their two best starters. It's the night when Obi Toppin is the best player on the Pistons, or the Pacers, I mean, that you decide to take it lightly and let him make every three known to mankind. And the Pistons decided, what would be a good idea? Let's start a fight. Let's start a big fight that's going to make them all get really mad and motivated to beat us tonight. A team from the Eastern Conference who we play twice a year. Let's get them mad at us for no reason. And then that happened. And then weirdly, the Wolves woke up. Mike Conley turned back the clock a decade defensively and was following Malik Beasley all around. Beasley was jawing all first quarter. And then come the fourth quarter, when their team falls apart, he's bricking it into the side of the backboard with Jalen Clark guarding him. And then you can see Nickeil Alexander-Walker doing his shimmy. And the shimmy. They're both doing this shimmy at him. So good job, Pistons. Good job all around. It's the what did you call it? The brawl at the bullseye or something like that?
I saw someone on Twitter call it the brawl at the bullseye, which doesn't have the same appeal as Malice at the Palace. Nothing is ever going to top Malice at the Palace. We're going to
get a name as good as the Palace, by the way, for an arena. Yeah. It's not Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pizza.
And Detroit fans, every single time you saw a reaction to that fight, basically here was just my this is.
See that's your IQ, buddy. 0.
That every single time. But because they're like, the bad boys are back. We're tough. Blah blah blah. And then they look at the fight and they're like, what are the Wolves doing? Starting to fight and all blah 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 blah. All of a sudden, it's like if you're gonna want to get into fights, you got to own it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to own it. I don't care who started the fight, whether it was Naz, whether it was Dante. They finished it. Dante helicoptered a guy.
Yeah, he did.
Made him start crying. What's his name? Who's the guy? Isaiah Stewart? Is that the dude who tried to fight LeBron a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. That dude tried to get in the mix of things and got his money's worth. And basically, I saw a Centel tweet, which is really funny. And it said, Draymond Green advised Isaiah Stewart that next time they fight the Wolves, he should go after their center.
Rudy did a good job of staying out because I didn't know what was happening.
And Jaden.
You texted last night, said big fight at the Wolves game. I was like, oh no, it's Ant, it's Rudy, it's Jaden, it's somebody that we cannot be missing here. They're on the stretch run. And I didn't see Ant in there. I don't even know if Ant was on the court when it happened.
He was on the floor now.
Yeah, Rudy was there. He was way back, getting criticized for this, by the way, for trying to pull a player off. And they're like, Rudy's got his hands around the guy's collar, eject him too. It's like, shut up. Shut up. If anybody knows,
low IQ sports fan.
if anybody knows what it's like to get choked out in a brawl, it's Rudy Gobert, who has been choked out in a brawl by Draymond Green. He's trying to half-heartedly get in there and do enough to show that he does care, that without getting ejected from the game. And
right, it's a fine line. And
idiots.
Multiple coaches got ejected. Luke Walton was the acting head coach for the Pistons because JB Bickerstaff got tossed, and he got to pick which player shot free throws, and he had to pick it from the bench. So Rudy was on the floor, so they couldn't pick Rudy. But instead of picking like Dillingham or a rookie who was fresh, they picked Luka Garza, and he made all of them. That's
why Luke Walton is no longer a head coach.
No, that's
because of decisions like that. Ice in his veins, Luka Garza, the 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year, and you pick him to go get your free throws?
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, that's good job. And this is the other thing, too. I think with the Wolves, this fight, it was fun. It's fun to talk about. Mm-hmm. It just kind of goes to what they've been all year, which is frustrating, and that they need to be motivated all the time. Now, the good news is they're going to be motivated in the playoffs because they're going to be a low seed. But when they are so close to getting out of the play-in, the Grizzlies, who fired their coach, are still sliding. The Warriors without Steph are sliding. The Clippers are the Clippers. I'm looking up the Western Conference standings right now, but this brawl, while it did motivate you to beat Detroit, maybe we should just take that, it means you are likely going to be without Dante and Naz against Denver tomorrow night, which is a big game.
Huge game.
Denver is third in the West right now, and the Wolves are about 4 games back of them. So you're not going to catch them. But you need to beat a team like Denver because you're a half game behind the Warriors and a game and a half behind the Grizzlies. If you could somehow get that 5 seed and take on the Lakers in a 4-5 matchup, or maybe you do want the 6 because you want to play Denver. Point is, you don't want to expunge energy going to the play-in. And especially if it means you have a chance of playing the Thunder round 1, which I think the Wolves match up well against the Thunder, but they'd have a week of rest. First round of the playoffs, and you'd have to expunge so much energy just to get out of the quarterfinal round. Mm-hmm. That's not where we need to be doing this at. The Wolves need to get the 6th seed. They're a half game back. If you look at who the Warriors play over their final few games, they play the Grizzlies. So somebody's got to lose that game tomorrow night. They then play the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Rockets, and then Suns, Spurs, Blazers, Clippers. So it's not an easy street for the Warriors throughout the final part of their year. For the Grizzlies, looking at the final part of their schedule, they play the Celtics tonight. They play the Warriors tomorrow, then Heat, Pistons, Hornets, Wolves, Nuggets, Mavs. So their schedule is also pretty easy kind of going down the stretch here. But the Wolves have to win these games. They have to, and the fact that they got suspended is not going to help their cause. They play the Nuggets, then they play Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Memphis, Brooklyn again, Utah. Theoretically easy stretch, but the way the Wolves treat easy teams does not make me feel any better about this stretch, and a game that is important and that you will show up for. You're not going to have 2 of your most important players off the bench. Just the Wolves are the most entertaining team over the last 5 years in the Anthony Edwards era. They also might be one of the dumbest. I don't know. It is.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the Wolves, scheduling was very kind to them over the second half of the season, where the 8 or 9 game winning streak, which was snapped by an overtime loss to Indiana. That was the first Obi Toppin game. Then they came out flat against a terrible Pelicans team and lost that one as well. Beat the Pelicans the next time out, and then lost to Indiana again in Obi Toppin Part 2. It just cannot beat the Pacers. And so you look at those 3 games and they win those 3. That overtime game can swing either way. You have a 4-point loss to the Pelicans. Garbage. And like you mentioned, the Nets, that's a winnable game. The Sixers are just awful right now. The Grizzlies are down. You've got the Nets again, and then the Jazz, a team that you've cleaned up on all season long. So there's no reason that the Wolves can't get into that 5 or 6 spot, but it's going to be tougher now without Naz and Dante, but they should be top 6 easy.
And by the way, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, Anthony Edwards got a tech again, and it wasn't even a foul. It was a foul call that should have gone again. It was a foul call that went against Conley. That was not a foul. Those First of all, this should have been said a long time ago by me. Officiating in that game yesterday was a joke. The officials had no control of that game from the beginning. Their rulings were not good. They gave a guy on the Pistons a tech for just jumping up and down after a call. He wasn't even looking at anybody. He was just kind of like jumping up and down, and the official tees him up like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bad game all around by the officials from the jump. But Ant picked up a needless technical, and now if he gets one more technical at any point, playoffs included, he gets suspended another game.
Sweet.
And guess what? He's going to pick up another technical. And guess what? The last time he did it was when they, against the Lakers, when he threw the ball into the stands, got suspended for a game, and then they lost to Utah. Like, he can't. Anthony Edwards is a good player. And maybe we're being a little bit unfair early in his career. This has been a frustrating year because there are some tendencies he has about not taking lighter opponents seriously, about maturing on the basketball court. And heck, you can even say off in certain areas. Like, that's a guy who's got to clean all the talent in the world. When that guy wants to turn it on, he can. He's good. I'm not saying that the Wolves need to change their franchise trajectory, but it's been very frustrating in watching him this year. And some of the shot selections he makes early in the shot clock, some of the hero ball stuff, some of the things where it's like, he's going to figure it out, but the Wolves are in a win now window, and you just can't be like, well, figure it out in 3 years. Like, I don't know what this team is going to look like in 3 years. They're talented enough to make a run now, and we kind of need more from that. So any other Wolves related things, Zeke, before we move on to another bright topic in the Twins?
I think that he should just get the tech against Denver and get it out of the way, and then we won't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And a tech against Denver is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're usually, hopefully, up big, and he does the, I don't know.
He does the big balls dance.
Yeah, he does
like
something.
Kick Jamal Murray in the groin.
There you go. Throw an ice pack at Jamal Murray or something. Yeah. The options are endless.
All right, Zeke, are you excited?
Doesn't hit like the NCAA tournament music does.
No, not quite. Out of all the baseball games to have ever been played, those 3 that the Twins played in St. Louis were sure some of them.
They happened.
They existed. Bad outing from Pablo, sloppy with the pickoffs.
Yep.
The team went 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Joe Ryan had a good start. Bullpen imploded. Offense did nothing for him. Again, hit the ball well, nothing with runners in scoring position. Just a total blow-up start from Ober, who Rocco Baldelli said after the game was battling a little illness, to which I say, I get it. I get starting him. If you're like, Paddock was set to pitch, so was Woods Richardson. We don't want to throw everybody off our rhythm. But the fact that they let him pitch for as long as he did was a little bit of like what are we doing here for him? Dobnak, bless his heart, pitched 6 innings and then got DFA'd
after the game
because he's not going to pitch again for a week because you need bullpen arms. So the Twins DFA'd him. Don't worry, Dobnak fans. He's going to go to St. Paul. Nobody's claiming him with this contract. No. Nobody's paying a quad A reliever $2 million. So
Twins will
because they have to.
The Twins are.
The Twins are. He's going to go to St. Paul. He's DFA'd because you have to clear a 40-man spot. Mm-hmm. But when the Twins need him again, they'll take somebody off the 40-man and they'll put him right back in. So that's the life of being a long reliever in today's Major League Baseball. So anyway, I believe they're calling a Blewett or something like that. I can't remember who they called up in his spot, but great name for a reliever, Scott Blewett.
For a Twins reliever, yeah.
But they are 0-3 to start the season, which is not ideal. That being said, I think overall the biggest things are just that really from the season, starting off with MLB.TV, giving a Cleveland Guardians video to start the broadcast. And then some people saying that they bought it and then found out their cable provider had it because MLB waited until the last day to announce something and will not be refunding people. And also that they're blacked out for some people who still bought it.
Disaster. And
Major League Baseball, because I'm one of the MLB.TV subscribers, they were like, we're sorry that opening day was such a mess. Here's $10 off a purchase of $25 or more. That's it? That's all you're doing. That's the best you got? You screwed up opening day. People aren't going to care about your sport again until after the NBA playoffs. People check in for opening day, and you botched it. People are like, oh, wow, this is being weird. I'm just going to go watch March Madness. You dolts, what are you doing? I know it's a Major League Baseball thing as much as it is a Minnesota Twins thing, but still, all
Disaster.
around, it's a disaster.
Disaster.
And for the team to start out sloppy the way they did, starting pitching is what's going to anchor this team. And for your top 3 guys to all have bad outings, Ryan had a good outing, I should say. But Pablo didn't have a good outing, and Ober just got his first start of the season blow up start out of the way. But I mean, just not good. Anything else concern you about this opening weekend, Zeke?
My main concern is that I am more emotionally invested in the NCAA men's hockey Frozen Four with no Minnesota teams in it than I am in the Minnesota Twins right now. And we're only 3 games in. Yeah. And we get to go to Chicago now, which could be good, but did they sweep the Angels? Are the White Sox 3-0?
I feel like I would have heard about that. But they definitely had a good weekend. They are 1-2.
Okay.
They won opening day and then lost the next.
Still, the Twins trail the White Sox in the standings.
If it makes us feel any better, the Tigers played the Dodgers and got whipped in 3 games. So
yeah, they did. But yeah, the Dodgers are the Dodgers. No one's beating the Dodgers. No one's beating the Yankees and their torpedo bats now. And
yeah, Ryan Jeffers is a torpedo bat.
Did it help the Twins?
No. To be fair, they got behind like 6-1.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of
not much Ryan Jeffers can do at that point. Yeah.
No, Willie Castro hit a home run yesterday, so we got that.
Good for him.
We're leaving with something. If they don't win this series, let's say they even win today and they lose the next 2. If they go into a series against the Astros for the home opener, 1-5, that's going to be just and the weather's already going to suck. Nobody's going to get that.
Nobody's going to go. Yeah. Well, it's the home opener, so the diehards will go. Because
tickets are pretty good. It's a pretty good deal for tickets right now.
Yeah, opening day, for whether it's opening day or home opener is a huge celebration. I'd be interested to see what the attendance drop off from game 1 against the Stros to game 2 is going to be. Because there ain't going to be nobody there for game 2.
No. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Twins.
Yeah.
Good job. Built an offseason doing nothing. Botched a TV deal.
And now we're
start of that TV deal.
Reaping the rewards of that.
Ownership situation not going well.
That on top of that. Did you see the Fanatics post where the dude in the Twins jersey with the Cleveland Guardians hat at Camden Yards in Baltimore or something?
I thought a different one where it has two people in athletics jerseys, but they're the Kelly Green ones that say Oakland on the front.
Oh no, they don't play there anymore.
Good job, Fanatics. Good job. A 15th of the league is playing in minor league ballparks this year. So that's
true. That's very true.
Seeing the Rays white uniforms actually in open sunlight is actually really fun because they look really nice.
Those games are going to be hot. Fans that wanted an open air stadium in Tampa, well, congratulations, you got your wish. They're going to be playing no day game. It's going to be like Texas.
I saw a Texas Rangers fan one time posted a picture of Globe Life Field, not Globe Life Park. Globe Life Field is the old stadium. Right? Is that how it was?
I think so, yeah.
And
ballpark in Arlington or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and that was and it just has a picture of somebody sitting in the bleachers and it just says POV, you're getting heat stroke.
Yeah. I made the mistake once of sitting in the left field corner at Target Field next to the limestone, and the left half of my body cooked. Like you could see the line down the side of what was facing the limestone and what wasn't. But I got to see Miguel Cabrera hit a grand slam that day, so totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
And the Twins won, so.
Oh, I was gonna say you got the best of both of us.
I did, yeah.
That ends up working out. Anyway, Chris Paddock on the mound. Doesn't matter who the White Sox have.
I think it's is it former Twin Martin Perez?
Ooh, good question.
I think it's former Twin the Matador himself, Martin. Yeah, that's Martin. That's my boy.
Your guy, 2019 legend, Martin Perez.
Yep.
Wasn't he pitched really well and got hurt at the end of the year? Was that it? Or was it he had a nice
10-7
year
Yeah, well, 10-7 with a career high 5.12 ERA.
Nice.
But he was 6.22 the year before that, so he was improving.
He was.
Then he went to
improving.
Texas and won a World Series, maybe, and yeah, he's played pretty well.
Played pretty well. All I remember from that 2019 team is like, oh, the rotation's kind of coming together, and is Michael Pineda like a number one, and he's suspended. Great.
Ooh, that's right. Paid him for a year to recover from Tommy John's that he got with the Yankees. Yeah.
So we started that Randy Dobnak game to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, the butterfly effect of Randy Dobnak.
This has been the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. See you tomorrow.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.